The room is silent. Not the respectful kind, the dangerous kind. Every eye in the glass-walled boardroom is fixed on her. 16 years old, black, too thin for the oversized blazer hanging off her shoulders. Hands clenched so tightly her knuckles have gone pale. Her name is Amara Cole, and right now she's standing at the front of a multi-million-dollar corporate headquarters, being laughed at by a man who has never been told no in his entire life. "Let me get this straight," the man says, leaning back in his leather chair, lips curling into a smug grin. "You're saying you're an heiress?" A few chuckles ripple across the long table. Amara swallows. "Yes, sir." That's all she says, because if she opens her mouth any wider, the tears threatening behind her eyes will spill, and she refuses to give them that satisfaction. The man laughing the loudest is Graham Whitmore, 52 years old, self-made millionaire, board member, donor, the kind of man whose name is etched on buildings and whispered with reverence in elite circles. And right now, Graham Whitmore is enjoying this. He stands, buttoning his tailored suit slowly, deliberately, like he's performing for an audience. "Security," he calls casually, not even looking at Amara anymore. "Why is there a child in our executive meeting?" That word hits her harder than a slap. Child. Her heart pounds. Her chest feels tight. This isn't how this was supposed to go. Just an hour earlier, Amara was sitting in the lobby downstairs, clutching a worn leather folder to her chest like it was the only thing keeping her upright. Because in a very real way, it was. Inside that folder are documents she doesn't fully understand, but knows are important. Shares, trusts, signatures dated years ago, and a letter. A letter written by a man who can no longer speak for himself. Her father. He died 6 months ago. Car accident, rain-slick highway, a truck that ran a red light. Just like that, Amara's world collapsed. Since then, everything has been a blur of eviction notices, social workers, and whispered conversations she pretends not to hear. She has a little brother, Micah, 9 years old, waiting at home right now. Home, which isn't really home anymore. If she fails today, they lose it. If she fails today, Micah goes into foster care. If she fails today, everything her father worked for, everything he promised her, disappears. No pressure, right? "Miss Cole," Graham says sharply, snapping her back to the present. "I asked you a question." Amara lifts her chin. "My father," she says, her voice shakes but she doesn't stop, "was Elias Cole." That name lands like a stone dropped into water. For half a second, there's nothing. Then Graham laughs again, louder this time. "Oh, this is rich! Elias Cole, the philanthropist?" He turns to the board, spreading his hands. "She's claiming to be the daughter of a man who died broke and irrelevant." That one hurts, because it's a lie, and she knows it. Her father may not have lived flashy, but he was brilliant, quiet, strategic, and secretive in ways she never understood until now. "I'm his daughter," Amara says, "and he left me everything." The room erupts. "Security!" Graham snaps again. 2 guards appear at the door. Amara's breath comes fast now. "This meeting is over," Graham says coldly. "Escort her out." The guards move closer, and that's when Amara does the bravest and scariest thing she's ever done in her life. She opens the folder. Papers spill onto the polished table, legal documents, trust certificates, a sealed envelope with the company's logo stamped in gold. The laughter dies down, not completely, but enough. Graham's eyes flicker to the documents, then back to her. "You think papers make you important?" he sneers. Amara's voice drops, steady now. "My father," she says, forcing the words out, "said you'd say that." That gives him pause. She pulls out the letter. The paper is creased, edges soft from being unfolded and refolded 100 times. "This letter," she says, "was written for the board." Graham crosses his arms. "Well, read it." Amara hesitates, because she knows what comes next. Once she reads this, there's no going back. Her father's voice echoes in her mind. "Not yet, Amara. Let them underestimate you." She looks up. "I was told the board would recognize the seal," she says, "and verify its contents." A murmur ripples through the room. Graham's smile returns, slow and cruel. "Sweetheart," he says, leaning down so only she can hear, "even if your father did leave something behind, people like us don't hand power to kids like you." That's the moment. The exact moment Amara realizes this isn't just about money, it's about control, and Graham Whitmore is terrified of losing it. The guards are right beside her now. One of them reaches for her arm, and suddenly, "Wait." The voice is calm, female, authoritative. Every head turns. At the far end of the table sits a woman who hasn't spoken once. Silver hair pulled into a tight bun, sharp eyes, nameplate reading Dr. Lenora Hayes, independent board auditor. She looks directly at Amara. "Who instructed you to come here today?" Dr. Hayes asked. Amara blinks. "My father's attorney," she says, "before he passed." Dr. Hayes' expression doesn't change, but something in her eyes does. Recognition. Interest. Graham stiffens. "This is a waste of time," he snaps. "She's bluffing." Dr. Hayes doesn't look at him. "Is she?" she asks quietly. Silence stretches, and for the first time since Amara walked into this building, Graham Whitmore looks uncertain. Outside, rain begins to fall against the windows. Inside, Amara's heart hammers, because she knows something no one else in this room does. Her father didn't just leave money, he left a truth, and once it comes out, nothing will ever be the same again. The room doesn't explode into chaos. That would have been easier. Instead, it tightens, like a breath being held too long. Dr. Lenora Hayes folds her hands on the table and studies Amara the way a surgeon studies an X-ray. Quiet, precise, searching for fractures no one else can see. "Mr. Whittemore," she says calmly, "before security removes anyone, I'd like to examine those documents." Graham's jaw tightens. "With respect," he snaps, "this is a board meeting, not a charity case." Dr. Hayes finally turns her gaze to him. "With respect," she replies, "this board exists because of legal frameworks, and if those documents are authentic, this is our business." A murmur spreads, not laughter this time, concern. Amara feels it, the shift subtle but real. The guards hesitate. Dr. Hayes gestures gently. "Miss Cole, may I?" Amara slides the folder across the table with shaking hands. The leather scrapes softly against polished wood. Dr. Hayes opens it, and everything changes. She doesn't react immediately. That's the scariest part. She flips page after page, her expression unreadable, eyes moving faster now. The silence stretches. Graham scoffs, but there's an edge to it, a crack. "Anyone can forge paperwork," he says, "especially when there's money involved." Dr. Hayes pauses, looks up. "Indeed," she says, "which is why this seal caught my attention." She taps the page. Several board members lean forward. Amara doesn't breathe. "This seal," Dr. Hayes continues, "belongs to a private trust established 12 years ago. It requires biometric verification and triple-locked authentication." She looks at Amara again. Only 2 people could have activated this trust. Amara's throat tightens. "My father," she whispers. "And his designated successor," Dr. Hayes finishes. Graham's color drains, just a shade, barely noticeable, but Amara sees it.
Let's pause for a second, beautiful souls. If this story is already hitting you the way I think it is, you're going to want to subscribe, because what happens next doesn't just change Amara's life, it exposes an entire system. Dr. Hayes closes the folder slowly. "There's something else," she says, "something I was instructed to look for if a specific contingency occurred." "What contingency?" a board member asks. Dr. Hayes' gaze never leaves Graham. "The founder's death." The word death echoes. Graham laughs again, but it's thinner now. "Life Cole was not a founder." Dr. Hayes tilts her head. "Not publicly." Amara's heart slams. "What?" "My audit mandate," Dr. Hayes says, "was triggered 3 days ago when an encrypted file unlocked itself on the board's internal server." She presses a button on her tablet. The screen behind her lights up. A logo appears, not the company's current one, but an older version. Amara recognizes it. She's seen it before, on her father's old notebooks, on a ring he never took off, and founding insignia. Graham takes a step back. "That's impossible," he mutters. Dr. Hayes' voice sharpens. "According to this, Elias Cole was not only an early investor, he was the architect of the company's original financial structure." The room erupts. "What? That can't be right. Why was this never disclosed?" Amara's dizzy. Her father, the man who fixed bikes for neighborhood kids, who cooked spaghetti on Sundays, who never raised his voice? That man? Graham slams his hand on the table. "This is absurd," he snaps. "If Elias Cole had that kind of power, we'd know." Dr. Hayes nods once. "You did." She swipes again. A list appears. Names, dates, transfers. "Mr. Cole quietly divested operational control over a decade ago," she explains, "but he retained something far more powerful." She looks straight at Graham. "Voting rights." The word hits like a gunshot. Several board members stand. "That's not possible," someone says. "Voting rights were consolidated under Whittemore Capital." Dr. Hayes' lips press together. "According to this, Whittemore Capital never owned the majority." Silence. Graham's breathing grows shallow. Amara's mind races. Her father's late nights, the phone calls he took outside, the way he always said, "Power doesn't need to announce itself." She never understood, until now. "Miss Cole," Dr. Hayes says gently, "did your father ever discuss a contingency plan with you?" Amara nods slowly. "He said," she whispers, "if anyone ever tried to erase him, I should go to the board and trust the truth to do the rest." Dr. Hayes' eyes soften. "That sounds like Elias." Graham explodes. "You're all being manipulated," he shouts, "by a child who doesn't even understand what she's holding." He points at Amara. "She doesn't belong here. She's a pawn." Amara flinches, but then something unexpected happens. She straightens. "No," she says quietly. "My father didn't raise me to be loud. He raised me to be prepared." She reaches into her bag, pulls out a small flash drive. Graham's eyes widen. "Before he died," Amara says, "my father gave me this. He told me not to open it unless I was sure I was being underestimated." A few board members exchange looks. Dr. Hayes nods. "May I?" Amara hands it over. The drive plugs in. The screen flickers. A video begins. Elias Cole appears, older than Amara remembers, tired but steady. "If you're watching this," he says, "then someone tried to silence my legacy." Graham sinks into his chair. "I spent my life building systems and watching powerful men exploit them." The video cuts to documents, proof, offshore accounts, shell companies, illegal stock manipulation. Amara gasps. Graham leaps up. "Turn that off," he roars. Dr. Hayes raises a hand. "Sit down." He doesn't. Security moves, but this time toward him. Elias's voice fills the room. "Whittemore Capital was built on theft, and if my daughter is standing before you, it means I'm gone. Protect her and let the truth finish what I started." The video ends. Silence crashes down. Amara's knees tremble. She didn't know, not all of it. Her father wasn't just hiding wealth, he was hiding a war. Dr. Hayes exhales slowly. This evidence, she says, will require immediate investigation. Graham laughs, a broken sound. You think this proves anything? Even if it's true, she's still a minor. She can't control anything. Dr. Hayes nods. Correct. Amara's heart sinks. But, Dr. Hayes continues, trust law allows for interim stewardship. She turns to Amara. Did your father name an executor? Amara hesitates. There was someone, she says. I've never met them. Dr. Hayes' phone buzzes. She glances down, smiles, just slightly. You're about to meet. The boardroom doors open. A man steps in, mid-40s, sharp suit, eyes that scan everything. He locks eyes with Amara and smiles warmly. Hello, I'm Marcus Vale. Your father asked me to watch your back. Amara's breath catches. Location check-in, beautiful souls. Where are you watching from right now? Drop it in the comments and stay with me, because this is where the trap begins to close. Marcus walks to the table. Elias Cole was my mentor and the legal owner of something this board hasn't realized is missing. Graham snarls. What now? Marcus slides a document forward. The controlling interest. The room erupts again. Dr. Hayes scans it, then looks up sharply. This was transferred, she says slowly, into a blind trust yesterday. Marcus nods. Activated upon Elias Cole's death. Amara stares. You mean... Marcus meets her gaze. You're not just an heiress, you're the majority shareholder. Graham's face goes gray, but before anyone can react, a board member shouts, Emergency vote! Freeze all assets! Dr. Hayes' phone rings again. She answers, listens. Her face darkens. There's been a filing, she says, a legal challenge. Someone's trying to invalidate the trust. Graham smiles, weak but dangerous. Looks like your fairy tale ends here, he whispers to Amara. Dr. Hayes turns to her gravely. Miss Coles, she says, if this injunction holds, you could lose everything. Amara's chest tightens. Micah, home, everything. Marcus leans in. Unless, he murmurs, we move faster than they expect. Amara lifts her chin. How? Marcus smiles. By letting them think they've already won.
The first rule Marcus Vale teaches Amara is simple. Never fight power head-on. Redirect it. They leave the boardroom separately. That's deliberate. Graham Whitmore watches Amara walk out with her head lowered, shoulders slumped, looking every bit like the frightened teenager he wants her to be. He smiles to himself. Good. Let her believe she's cornered. Let the world believe it too. Because within minutes of exiting the building, Amara's phone begins to buzz nonstop. News alerts, social media mentions, whispers turning into headlines. Teen claims heiress status in corporate power struggle. Boardroom chaos as minor challenges billion-dollar trust. The narrative is already forming, and it's exactly the one Marcus wants. Inside a quiet conference room 3 floors down, off the official schedule, Marcus spreads out documents like a chessboard. This injunction Whitmore filed, he says, it's not meant to win. Amara looks up. Then why file it? To bait us, he replies. He wants us desperate, sloppy. Amara clenches her fists. Micah's face flashes in her mind. I don't have room to be sloppy, she says. Marcus nods. Good, because neither did your father. He slides a tablet toward her. On it is a timeline, not of Elias Cole's life, of Graham Whitmore's crimes. Your father didn't just anticipate this moment, he engineered it. Amara's breath catches. Every shell company, every illegal acquisition, every silenced whistleblower, all mapped, all time-stamped. But, Marcus adds, there's a problem. Amara braces herself. What?
None of it matters unless we force Whitmore to expose himself publicly. Let's pause right here, beautiful souls. If you're still with me, hit that subscribe button because the move Amara makes next flips the entire board and Whitmore walks straight into it. The opportunity comes faster than expected. 3 days later, an emergency shareholder summit is announced. Mandatory attendance, media present. Graham Whitmore himself requests it. Marcus reads the email and smiles. He's overconfident, he says. That's his fatal flaw. Amara looks at the screen. He wants me there. Exactly, Marcus replies. He wants to humiliate you again. Amara exhales slowly. Then let him. Marcus raises an eyebrow. You're sure? She nods, because this time she's not walking in blind. The day of the summit, the room is packed. Cameras, journalists, shareholders whispering behind manicured hands. Amara stands backstage, adjusting the same oversized blazer, but this time it feels different. It feels like armor. Marcus crouches in front of her. Remember, he says quietly, we don't strike first. Amara nods. What if I freeze? She asks. Marcus smiles gently. Then you breathe and remember who built all of this. Her father, always watching, always planning. They walk out together. The murmurs swell. Graham Whitmore is already at the podium. He beams. Ladies and gentlemen, he begins, thank you for attending on such short notice. He gestures toward Amara. As you can see, recent events have created confusion. A ripple of laughter. Amara keeps her eyes down. Let me be clear, Graham continues. This company is stable, secure, and not controlled by conspiracy theories or emotional narratives. He pauses. Miss Cole, you may speak. The spotlight hits her. Her heart pounds, but she steps forward, slow, measured. I don't want control, she says softly. Graham chuckles. And what truth is that? Amara looks up, straight at him. That my father anticipated exactly this moment. Graham stiffens. Marcus taps his watch. Phase 1 complete. Graham launches into his attack. He presents legal jargon, court filings, temporary injunctions. The audience nods along. It's convincing, it's polished, and it's exactly what Amara lets him believe she's losing to. When Graham finishes, he turns to her with mock sympathy. I'm sorry, he says, but this ends today. The room buzzes. Amara swallows. Then she speaks. Did you know that my father kept a diary? Graham blinks. What? A record, she continues, of every meeting he ever attended in this building. Marcus taps again. The screen behind them lights up. Dates, times, room numbers, and one recurring name, G. Whitmore. Graham laughs, too loudly. This proves nothing. Amara nods. You're right, so let's talk about what does. She steps aside. Marcus takes the stage. 2 weeks ago, Marcus says calmly, Whitmore transferred funds through an offshore account flagged by 3 international watchdogs. The room murmurs. Graham's smile tightens. Marcus continues. That account, he says, was activated using biometric clearance. He pauses. And we have the recording. A hush falls. Graham's voice darts to the exits. Play it, Amara says. The audio fills the room. Graham's voice, clear, arrogant, discussing bribes, threats, cover-ups. The color drains from his face. This is illegal, Graham shouts. This summit is over. He steps away from the podium and freezes because security doesn't move. They're not looking at Amara. They're looking at him. A man in a dark suit steps forward. Federal badge. Graham Whitmore, you are under investigation for financial crimes and obstruction of justice. The room explodes. Cameras flash. Graham turns slowly and locks eyes with Amara. Hatred burns there. "You think you've won?" he hisses. "You have no idea what you've started." Amara meets his gaze. "Neither did you," she replies. Just when it feels like the triumph is complete, Marcus's phone vibrates. His face changes. He steps toward Amara. "We have a problem," he murmurs. Her stomach drops. "What?" "The injunction," he says. "It just escalated." "How?" "Emergency ruling. They're freezing the trust, effective immediately." Amara's knees weaken. "But the evidence—" "Won't matter," Marcus interrupts, "if the assets are locked." Graham laughs, broken, triumphant. "You played well," he says, "but the system still belongs to me." Sirens echo faintly outside. Amara's chest tightens. "Micah, the house, everything." She looks at Marcus. "Tell me there's something else." Marcus hesitates. That hesitation says everything. Graham is escorted away, but he smiles as he goes, because he knows something they don't. And as the doors slam shut behind him, Amara realizes this fight isn't over. It's just gotten far more dangerous. Cliffhanger location check. Where are you watching from right now? Drop it in the comments, and don't go anywhere, because in the next act, everything falls apart.
The news breaks before Amara even gets home. Court freezes Cole Trust as legal battle intensifies. Heiress claim thrown into question. The words blur on her phone screen. Marcus drives in silence, knuckles white on the steering wheel. Rain streaks across the windshield, heavy and relentless, just like the weight pressing down on Amara's chest. "So that's it?" she finally asks. "After everything, he still wins?" Marcus doesn't answer right away. That scares her more than if he had. Home feels different when they walk in, smaller, fragile. Micah is on the couch, knees pulled to his chest, watching cartoons too loudly. He looks up when he sees her. "Did it work?" he asks. Amara forces a smile. "Not yet." His face falls. That almost breaks her. Later that night, when Micah is asleep, Amara sits on the floor of her bedroom surrounded by boxes. Eviction notice on the dresser, court documents on the bed, her father's old notebook open in her lap. She flips through it again. Numbers, sketches, quotes scribbled in the margins. The truth doesn't rush. It waits for the right moment. Tears finally fall. Quiet, uncontrollable. "What if this is the moment I fail you?" she whispers into the empty room. Let's pause here, beautiful souls. If you've ever felt like you did everything right and still ended up losing, tap subscribe, because what Amara faces next is something a lot of us know too well. The next morning is worse. Marcus calls early. "They're moving faster than we thought," he says. "Whitmore's legal team is pushing to declare the trust invalid." "But he was arrested," Amara says. "Doesn't that matter?" "It will," Marcus replies. "Eventually." Eventually, that word feels like a luxury she doesn't have. "Micah's school called," Amara adds quietly. "They said if the fees aren't paid by Friday—" She doesn't finish the sentence. Marcus exhales. "I'm sorry," he says. "I truly am." After the call ends, Amara feels something dangerous settle in her chest. Not fear, not sadness, doubt. Maybe Graham was right. Maybe the system really is designed to crush people like her no matter how prepared they are. That night, she dreams of her father. He's standing on the side of a road in the rain, waving her forward, but every time she takes a step, the ground disappears beneath her feet. She wakes up gasping. 2 days later, the knock comes. 2 social workers, polite, professional, unyielding. "We're just doing a welfare check," one of them says, eyes already scanning the apartment. Micah clutches Amara's hand. "Are they taking me?" he whispers. "No," Amara says quickly. "No, baby." But the words feel thin. After they leave, Amara sinks on the couch. Her phone buzzes again. A message from Marcus. "We may need to prepare for worst-case scenarios." Worst case, the phrase echoes. She looks around the room, the peeling paint, the second-hand furniture, the life her father shielded them from for as long as he could. "I'm tired," she whispers. The hearing is scheduled for the following Monday. It's supposed to be procedural, but everyone knows what it really is. A test of power. The courtroom is cold, sterile. Graham Whitmore isn't there, still in custody, but his presence fills the room anyway, through his attorneys, expensive, confident. Amara sits beside Marcus, hands folded tight. The judge reviews documents, pauses, frowns. This court recognizes the evidence presented. However, the trust's activation remains under dispute. Amara's heart pounds. Until further notice, the judge continues, all assets will remain frozen. The gavel strikes. Just like that, it's over. Outside the courthouse, cameras swarm. "Miss Cole, how does it feel to lose?" someone shouts. Another voice cuts through. "Do you regret coming forward?" Amara doesn't answer. She can't. Her chest feels hollow. Marcus shields her as they push through the crowd. In the car, neither of them speaks. There's nothing left to say. That night, Amara sits alone in the dark. Micah is asleep. The city hums outside the window. She stares at her father's notebook one last time. "I tried. I really did." She closes it. And that's when she notices something she missed before. A folded page tucked into the back cover. Different paper. Heavier. Her hands shake as she opens it. A handwritten note. "If you're reading this and everything feels lost, you're exactly where I planned for you to be." Her breath catches. Below it is a name, Lenora Hayes, and a date, tomorrow. Amara doesn't sleep. At dawn, she's already dressed, notebook in hand, heart racing. Dr. Hayes' office is modest compared to the company headquarters. Bookshelves, framed awards, a single window letting in soft morning light. Dr. Hayes looks up as Amara enters. "I was hoping you'd find that note," she says. "You knew?" Amara asks. Dr. Hayes smiles gently. "Your father was thorough." They sit. Dr. Hayes pours tea. "There's something the court hasn't seen yet," she says. "Something Elias asked me to protect." Amara leans forward. "What?" Dr. Hayes opens a drawer, pulls out a sealed envelope. "This," she says, "is the original shareholder ledger." Amara's eyes widen. "That's impossible." "It was hidden," Dr. Hayes replies, "intentionally, because whoever controls this controls the narrative." She slides it across the desk. "And there's more." She turns her computer screen toward Amara, a video file, time-stamped years ago. "Your father recorded a contingency deposition," Dr. Hayes explains, "admissible only if the trust was challenged." Amara's heart slams. "Why didn't you bring this earlier?" Dr. Hayes' expression turns serious. "Because Whitmore needed to believe he'd won." Location check, beautiful souls. Where are you watching from right now? Stay with me because the tide is about to turn. The emergency appeal is filed that afternoon. This time, the courtroom feels different, tense, charged. Graham's lead attorney smirks as Amara enters, confident, too confident. Dr. Hayes takes the stand. "This ledger," she says clearly, holding it up, "shows the true ownership structure of the company at its founding." The judge leans forward. "And this video," she continues, "is sworn testimony from Elias Cole himself." The video flickers. Elias appears, calm, direct. "If you're watching this, then someone tried to steal what wasn't theirs." He lays it all out. The manipulation, the coercion, the threats. Names are named, dates confirmed. The courtroom is silent. The judge's expression hardens. Graham's lead attorney stands abruptly. "This is highly unusual." "Sit down," the judge snaps. The video ends. Dr. Hayes steps down. The judge looks at Amara. "Miss Cole, your father left you a formidable legacy." Amara's throat tightens. "With this evidence," the judge continues, "the court lifts the asset freeze effective immediately." A gasp ripples through the room, "and orders a full transfer of control to the trust's rightful beneficiary." The gavel strikes.
This time, it sounds like thunder. Amara doesn't cry, not yet. She sits perfectly still, stunned. Marcus grips her shoulder. "You did it," he whispers, but she knows the truth. Her father did. Outside, the cameras are back, but this time the questions sound different. "Miss Cole, what's next? How does it feel to win?" Amara pauses, looks straight into the lens. This was never about winning. It was about telling the truth.
The headlines change overnight. Not quietly, not gently. They explode. Court hands control to teen heiress after shocking evidence. Whitmore empire crumbles as Cole legacy confirmed. Truth wins. Deceased founder's final move shakes corporate world. Amara watches it all from the same couch she once cried on, Micah curled up beside her, scrolling wide-eyed on a borrowed tablet. "Is that you?" he asks, pointing at the screen. Amara smiles softly. "Yeah," she says, "that's us." He grins. "You look tall." She laughs for the first time in days. Real laughter, the kind that comes from relief. Graham Whitmore is sentenced 3 weeks later. Fraud, conspiracy, obstruction of justice. The courtroom is packed again, but this time Amara doesn't sit at the front. She sits in the back, quiet, watching. Graham looks smaller now. No tailored suit, no confident smile. When the judge reads the sentence, Graham's shoulders slump. He turns once, looks at Amara. For a brief moment, something flickers in his eyes. Regret? Anger? Fear? Then it's gone. He's led away. And just like that, the man who mocked her no longer matters. Let's pause here, beautiful souls. If you're still with me at this moment, drop a heart in the comments. This ending belongs to all of us who've ever been underestimated. The house doesn't change at first. That's intentional. Amara keeps Micah in the same school, keeps cooking the same meals, keeps their life steady. Because power, she's learned, doesn't have to rush. But slowly, carefully, she begins to use it. The first thing she does, she pays off the mortgages of 5 families in her old neighborhood, quietly, no press. The second thing, she creates a legal defense fund for families facing unjust evictions, named simply the Elias Cole Trust. When Marcus asks why she doesn't attach her own name, Amara shakes her head. "He built this," she says. "I'm just protecting it." Micah notices the changes before anyone else. The way people listen when Amara speaks, the way Marcus defers to her now, the way Dr. Hayes smiles with something like pride. "Are you like a boss now?" Micah asks one night. Amara thinks about it. "No," she says, "I'm a guardian." He nods, satisfied. 6 months later, Amara stands in the same glass-walled boardroom where she was once laughed at, but everything feels different. New faces, new policies, new energy. Dr. Hayes sits to her left, Marcus to her right. Amara takes a breath. "This company," she says, "was built quietly, carefully, and nearly stolen." She looks around the table. "We will never be that company again." Applause fills the room, not performative, earned. Outside, the world still debates her. Some call her lucky, others call her dangerous, a few still call her undeserving. Amara lets them talk, because she knows the truth. Luck didn't save her, preparation did, legacy did, love did. On the 1-year anniversary of her father's death, Amara and Micah visit his grave. The headstone is simple: Elias Cole, father, builder, protector. Micah places a folded piece of paper at the base. "What's that?" Amara asks. "A letter," he says. "I told him thank you for choosing you to be my sister." Amara's throat tightens. She kneels, touches the stone. "We're okay. You don't have to worry anymore." The wind stirs. For a moment, just a moment, it feels like an answer.
The final scene circles back to where it all began. Another board meeting, another young person standing at the front of the room. This time, a teenage girl, nervous, brilliant, underestimated. The room watches. Amara watches. The girl clears her throat. "I have something to present," she says softly. A few people shift uncomfortably. Amara stands. "Let her speak," she says firmly. The room stills, and in that moment, the circle closes, the cycle breaks. Because the greatest revenge wasn't humiliating Graham Whitmore. It wasn't taking his power. It was changing the rules so no one like him could ever do that again. Thank you for taking this incredible journey, beautiful souls. If this story moved you, even a little, hit that subscribe button, share this with someone who needs hope, and let me know in the comments which moment hit you the hardest. Until next time, remember, truth doesn't rush, it waits, and it always wins.